Greetings, programs. This is Wretch. Welcome back to Citizen Sleeper. And in the last episode, guys, a lot happened. We were able to acquire not one, but two stabilizers. One of them was from Sabine's surgery. We paid 100 cryo for it. The other one we got from Dragos' shipyard, and we had to pay a bit of a price for it. We found out that Dragos was involved in some unpleasant dealings, let's say, and we confronted him with it, and he didn't take it too well. Our association ended, but kind of on a bittersweet note, he went ahead and left us the empty container. I think doing that and helping us this entire time was his way of making amends for the work that he's doing. But yeah, our story with Dragos, I guess, is over for the time being. Now, here in the empty container, speaking of that, we've got some unpleasantness because whoever is hunting us is about to show up. And I don't think there's any way to actually lower this clock. So we're about to get to it. However, one thing that I completely forgot, or didn't notice at the end of the last episode, is I have got a piece of salvage available, which means we can go to the Ord Exchange, go ahead and sell that off, and I think that may raise up our trusted trader. Let's see. Hey, there we go. So this is apparently going to get us an old ship mine fabrication stack. I don't know what that means necessarily, but... Sell components. Okay, that is no longer there. Oh, there we go. Ort Fabricator, reclaimed fabrication stack. Fabricate ship mined. That is good because we need 3 of these right now. Or actually, we need 2 ship mines. One for Neovend and the other one for our bounty hunter friend. So, how do we want to go about this? Who do we want to help out first? Well, we only have 2 ship mine fragments, so we need to find another place to acquire those. So that just leaves what we're going to use this 6 dice for. Are we going to go ahead and work a shift here at the Overlook Bar? Or are we going to go ahead and travel here to the shipyards? Systems fitting. Let's go ahead and do this. We can get some more cryo that way. I think a good amount of it as well. Hey. Good deal. Well, that is everything that we can do short of opening the low-end gate. We've got the cryo for it. We've got a pass key for an apartment that's over in this area, but I kind of want to finish all of the stories here while we can. Hopefully that's something we can actually do. So let's... Oh, actually, we do need to stop by the Overlook. Let's get some food. And then... We're still looking for those mushrooms for Emphas. And our hunger has never dropped down to 3. I guess we need to go ahead and use one of our stabilizers, otherwise we're going to be stuck at this 3 dice, and I really don't want to do that. Cool. Body repaired, condition stabilized. So let's see what this is all about. It says, game over. Oh, it has disappeared. We've got a nice little mishmash of talents here. Oh god. Ethan, cynical bounty hunter. Yeah, hold it there, sleeper. Comes a voice from behind you. Don't you run. Stay still? Because he's behind us. Good, good. A hand pats your coat down. You know your master's voice. Ethan spins you around. He's wearing a wide smirk and a slick jacket, and you immediately know he has terrible news. You got all the way out here and then stayed put. That a sleeper thing? You're my first. You barely hear him. You notice the handgun he has leveled at your chest, and it's hard to take your eyes off of it. He reaches down with his other hand and slips some kind of ring out of a belt loop without taking his eyes off of you. Making it to the eye, though, that's pretty good. This place isn't so bad. Bars, markets, people. I pull most of my contracts out of asteroid caves or off of godforsaken moons. He splits the ring into 2 perfect circles. It's hard to hit civilization when there's so much space to pass around, or pass through. Who are you? Just a freelancer on the contract. He reaches over to slide the rings around your wrists. Go easy. Ooh. So what do we do here? Maybe Dragos will come and help us out? We have to try and make a break for it. We don't have any options. You see a chance the moment his eyes leave you to watch the rings. You spin, knocking him away and sprinting down the corridor. Then the shot rings out, echoing off the metal so loud it hurts your ears. A bullet hole smokes in the wall beside your head. You freeze and Ethan closes the gap. You know, this is a very boring routine. Trust me, I've seen it all before. He slips the rings over your trembling wrists. Ethan nudges you to start walking. To the ship and home, he whistles. Going easy. You stumble down the corridor, your hands behind you, your mind racing. Who hired you? Your daddy's at Essenop. They want you home for dinner. Ethan yawns and continues to nudge you down the corridor. Shame to come all the way out here just to head back to Essenop right away. That tracker of yours makes this too quick. Was hoping you put up a bit more of a chase, you know? A running battle through the bright market maybe, or a holdout in the low end. There's a few establishments I would have enjoyed checking out while I asked around. You walk on in silence for a little longer, desperately trying to think of a way to escape. That SNRP tracker will be the death of you. Hey, I have an idea. Ethan interrupts your thoughts. How about on the way back to the ship we stop for a drink? I'm buying. I have a better idea. You know, this better not be one of those where you do a dramatic pause and then try to jump me. Because I'm pretty tired of that. Although, uses Ethan, I've got myself thinking, what's the rush here? Here we are in one of the most lawless joints in the surrogate systems and we're heading for the exit? He pauses and you trudge on in silence. Okay, here's the idea, starts Ethan. You and me, we make a little agreement. Here are the terms. He turns you to face him, okay? You run, or leave, or try to abandon the eye, I shoot you. You plot, or scheme, you try to kill me, I shoot you. But, he smiles. You come meet me in an establishment of my choice every few cycles and you pay my tab, I don't shoot you. He pauses. You don't pay my tab. He rattles his handgun. You get the idea. You're letting me go? Oh, not at all. Let's call it open custody. You're free to mooch around the eye as long as you keep paying up. He stretches. You know, I really thought I was going to have to kill you, but this is so much better. He clicks something at his belt and the rings release from your wrists. I'm going to see if I can find my old stool at the Compressor Club. You come see me there. He aims the handgun at you, squinting down the sight. Let me just remind you, that body of yours is one big tracker, so don't even think about leaving the eye. I'll know. Ethan turns and strides off down the corridor, slipping his handgun away. The mix of relief and terror you feel is overwhelming. What are you going to do? Okay, new drive? Oh, disable your tracker. Yeah, we didn't have help Fang chase his leads. Maybe we'll have the option to keep doing that. So we definitely need to help Fang, and there's a new bar. The Compressor Club. Ethan's tab. You see Ethan at a distance, shouting from the bar for more drinks. This isn't going to be small, is it? Great. Alright, well, now we gotta figure all this out. Word exchange, you can play the exchange. I think we're good for this unless we need to sell off some salvage. Need to deliver the ship mind there. Merchant freighter is already out of those pieces. Now, the good news is, though, if there's any good news to glean from this, is that we can go ahead and get some of this stuff taken care of. So we got the Solheim node. Let's go ahead and get that Solheim node right now, because that has become a priority. There we go. Okay, Hunter is a little bit wise. Not too bad. We may be able to go ahead and grab this key node while we're at it. We've got another 2 that we could waste. Not necessarily waste, but... Tell you what. Let's go ahead and do this first. Gives us some more cryo. I guess we're going to be needing it to pay off a bar tab. Fang. As you enter the bay, Fang is nowhere to be seen. The banks of servers and machines blink out of the dark in staccato rhythms, unseen eyes of the station's digital ghosts. Ah, shitheads! Fang's voice echoes from behind a stack, followed by the hammer of a fist on the metal casing. These snaky shitheads. Who's snaky? Oh, Sleeper! Fang's smiling head pops out from behind the stack. Just the emulated consciousness I've been eager to see. Come back here. You pick your way between the thrumming stacks, trying not to trip on the loose bundles of cables that blanket the dark floor. Fang is sat in front of a set of monitors mounted to a stack. So tell me, Sleeper, what do you see here? Fang waves at a monitor to his side, glowing with pale lists of information. You lean in closer, looking for the links in the data. The tables seem to be filled with personal information, names, genders, dates, ID numbers, and all the markers of institutional records. Shitheads? Well, maybe not all of them, but what kind of shitheads? Now, he's been wanting Solheim information, so... Solheim? Bingo. He taps at the terminal. I pulled these from the old data you brought in. All employees of the Eye's original owners. And... He leans past you and scrolls the list down. This one. This is a snaky shithead. He stabs at the screen with a finger. The name reads Hardened Hurst. Friend of yours? Fang gives you a sideways look. Funny you should say that, Sleeper. He drags a stool out beside him and motions for you to sit. There just so happens to be a Hardened Hurst. In Haven Age. In Haven Age? That's it. He's right here on the station now. Fang leans back in his chair. Just think about it. Decades ago, Hardin worked on this station as a... Fang leans across to look at the monitor. Senior Strategic Operations Executive. Fang raises his eyebrows at you. Our Hardin was keeping the money coming in for Solheim. He defined priority growth initiatives by making sure the extractors they contracted out to were hooked into the system that outsourced all the risk and kept the profit. Good old Hardin shuttled thousands of Palladium Rush workers into an infrastructure which meant that their cut of the work they did went straight back into Solheim. How do you know this? I grew up here, Sleeper. This is my history. I'm a child of the collapse. Fang turns back to his screen, staring hard at the strings of code flickering by. Before I was born, my parents were Solheim contractors. They ate in Solheim canteens, worked on Solheim ships. They breathed Solheim air, and they slept in Solheim beds. Fang's voice rises as he speaks, his hands fist on the terminal edge. And the work that paid for that existence? The cycles of hard extraction out in the belt? Solheim took their cut. This was a company town, so to speak, and my parents were just another in a long line of freelance contractors willing to risk their lives for a shot at anything other than poverty. Disposable. This guy, stabbing at Hardin once again with his finger, strategized all that, did the sums, and then somehow, thousands and thousands of cycles later, is still going, still here, crawling in the walls like some shithead snake. He survived the revolution. But how? These guys? They were big time. There's a lot of money can get you if you're a company man. Fang relaxes a little. But how is Hardin still kicking? I really don't know. He turns to you and smiles. So we are going to find out. Hardin is now a big shot in the shipyards, just a few degrees back around the eye from here. Fang brings up a map of the lower eye. Haven Age might be born out of Erland's revolutionary zeal, but a flat hierarchy it is not. Hardin happened to float to the top. Fang zooms in on the far yards. Fang grimaces. Thing is, I don't have access to those systems. The shipyard crew is pretty paranoid and they don't like anyone from systems digging around in their stuff. Plus, we need more than just the name of a Solheim executive. We need proof. Fang holds up a thumbnail-sized drive. That's where this little creation of mine comes in. I call it a ripper worm. He turns the drive between his fingers. It'll rip through any digital storage and spin out a silken thread of filtered data. This one is set on the scent of hardened Hearst. He hands it over. Getting to the compound might be tricky. Fang puts a hand on your shoulder. But you, however, have a particular knack for remote access. Fang grins. If you can extract yourself a Haven Age cipher from a Haven Age agent, they sometimes carry them among their data caches. You can crack open the compound's network and slot the worm in through any open port. You never even need to go near the shipyards. Alright. And I think we may have some of those. So what do you say? You up for it? Yeah. I knew it. I knew you'd be happy to catch this snake. And don't worry. Once we nail this guy, I'll start work on that tracker of yours. I haven't forgotten. Fang scratches at his chin. Anything the worm gets, it'll send back here. There's something wrong here, and I aim to get to the rotten core of it. You leave Fang, digging through data among the wires and machines of the old station. As you walk out, you try to imagine the eye as it once was, a vast machine running smooth and strong, directed by people like Hardin. A vast Solheim-built machine into which thousands poured from the surrogate systems, looking for a new life. The hope of a better future, engineered to line someone else's pockets. It's an idea you are intimately familiar with. You think of Hardin, still alive, still part of this place, and wonder if the past is ever truly past. There's some good writing here. Okay, well, we got the unit assembly here. We got the Haven Age offices. Let's go into the grid. We've got this key node. Looks like that's something that we cannot access right now. Maybe a little bit later. We've only got one upgrade point. I want that instant karma. So bad. But now we do have some dice to play around with here. Let's see. We're good with the exchange. The fabricator, we're gonna have to wait for that. Compressor club. Need to see. I don't know how much cryo that's gonna be. It's probably gonna be a lot. Neoven's waiting on the ship mine. That is Nikita. So that gives us... We can go to the bar. We can... Fragment supply. Oh man. We can actually give them ship mine fragments, which I do not want to do. So this Haven Age data is definitely something that we need. Cool. Because I'm not seeing anywhere else to go. So let's go ahead and work here. I think we can use our other 2 on the grid, so let's use our 4 dice here for some junior tech action. Okay, neutral outcome. That's not what I wanted, but that's alright. Can't bat 1,000. And we definitely haven't been. Now to the Overlook. Let's go ahead and... let's work a pleasant shift here. Good. And put some cryo for a meal. Now, one thing we could probably do here, I would say... let's check the grid one more time. Let's go ahead and get that key node. Another encrypted key. Get through those maglocks. And now we just have... Yatagon agent and a Haven Age agent. Oh, okay, here's the gate. So, this gate keeps traffic out of the Haven Age shipyard's internal network. The correct cipher can grant you access. Isn't that what we use the Ripper Worm for? I guess not. So we'd have to keep on grabbing stuff from here. Okay. I don't want to have another run-in with Hunter, though. Can you guys blame me? I don't have enough for... I can't access that agent. I don't want to access Yatagon. I don't think that's going to help me at all. Yep. Do not have the proper dice for such an undertaking. I'm always kind of curious if there's always something out here in the edge that I'm not seeing. Okay. So, I need to decide what I'm doing here. Do I want to go ahead and do another shift at the bar? Or do I want to go ahead and get this unit assembly dealt with? I think the unit assembly would probably be the best bet. Yeah. Wait, lower end gate. Maglocks. Okay, let's do this. Uno mas. Cool. Alright, Junior Tech. Each shift, a crowd of would-be workers gather outside the shipyard, each of them clinging to a 4-digit number printed on receipt paper. These are their assignment numbers, and you're either called for a shift, or you aren't. As you arrive, the crowd is restless and chatter rumbles through the lines. For those who, like you, have graduated to the work teams, shifts are guaranteed. Having just walked out of a meeting with a supervisor where you were praised for your efforts, you feel the glow of a job well done. Yet you can't help but feel empathy for those huddled as you pass, waiting for their number to come up. You keep your head down as you leave the shipyard, feeling a little guilty as you do. "Hey, sleeper, wake up!" Lem's voice trembles as he shouts above the rumble of the crowd, and you turn to see him pushing through, Mina crying in his arms. "Lem!" "Oh, good to see you, friend." He's breathing hard after shouldering through the waiting workers. "You made the work team. Good for you." He tries to catch his breath, stroking Mina's hair as he does. "Shh, baby, give me a second here." He smiles weakly at you as he comforts her, and her cries start to fade. Out of the crowd, he sets Mina down by his side, shiny streaks down both of her cheeks. As he does, you see he's clutching an assignment number on a crumpled piece of paper. "Is Mina okay?" "Yeah, she's good. We just had to rush up here." He puts his hand on her shoulder and she clings to his side. Esther, who usually takes care of her, is sick." He stretches. "I don't know who..." A noise sounds from the entrance, a klaxon, followed by a list of numbers growing brightly on the display screen. The crowd responds instantly, pushing and pulling as people try to wade to the entry checkpoint. Lem stops and turns back toward the crowd, then glances down at the crumpled paper. "That's my number. Shit. Mina." He starts patting the pockets of his gear and glancing around. "Go. I'll watch her." He blinks a little, staring. Thank you. He crouches to Mina. "You're going to stay with our friend here, okay? They're going to keep you safe and..." He stands back up. "Here, take a bag." He shoves it into your hands. She's got food, she's got... Shit, I'll have to go." He backs away into the crowd. "Mina, I'll be back real soon, okay? You be good." Then Lem disappears into the rolling crowd, who are now trying to get into the shipyard before it locks down. Mina stands staring, suddenly small without Lem at her side. She fixes you with a dark-eyed stare you can't quite read. "Hey, Mina." She holds the stare, unmoving. The 2 parallel tear tracks still glint on her cheeks. "Look in the bag?" You unlatch the top of the bag and see a few metal containers fashioned from scrap components. A battered slate sits on top, blinking a low battery warning, and tucked beside it is a ragged rabbit, hand-sewn. "Take the rabbit?" You pull the rabbit out of the bag, its long limbs waggling as you do. Mina goes to jump and grab it, but holds herself back. She stands and hugs herself, eyes on the rabbit. "What's their name?" Mina turns away and looks at the entrance to the shipyard. This isn't going well. "Shake the rabbit?" Mina jumps a little, startled. She glares at you. "Give her the rabbit." You hold the rabbit out and Mina snatches it from your hand. She hugs it tightly without looking away from you. "Bun Bun," she says, staring you down, ferocious despite her size. "Hi, Bun Bun." You move a little closer as you speak, closing the gap. "He doesn't speak," she says. She looks at you suspiciously, but her face softens a little. She waggles Bun Bun in front of you and then walks him up your arm and onto your shoulder where he sits. She pokes your arm a couple of times.
Are you really a robot?
Sort of.
Yeah,
She thinks.
me too.
Mina has more questions. Lots of questions. Questions about how you breathe or if you rust. But before long, you're talking about rabbits and what Esther, the lady who usually takes her smells like, and whether or not fairies live in the eye's heating pipes. You pass the time like this, sitting side by side on the floor of the walkway as others pass by, sometimes talking, sometimes drawing on the slate, sometimes playing with Bun Bun the rabbit. And this is how Lem finds you, just as both of you are starting to yawn. He's dirty and tired, but Mina leaps up his legs and into his arms as he stumbles backwards.
You two get on okay?
He asks, trying to keep Mina from climbing onto his shoulders. More than okay. Mina shoots you a smile from Lem's arms, her suspicion gone.
Well. Looks like Meanie can be nice.
He pokes her in the ribs and she squeals in delight.
Thank you, friend. I mean it.
He gives you a warm, wide smile.
I owe you.
Look, he glances around. It seems like Esther, the lady who usually watches her, is going to be out for a spell. If you ever have some time, I'd really appreciate you coming down to our place in the Low End. He grins sheepishly. If you have time.
But now I have to take this one to eat.
He plays at biting Mina, and she giggles in response.
See you, sleeper.
He waves and they stumble off down the corridor, drawing gazes from passing spacers as Mina's laughter echoes down the corridor in bright squeals. Okay, I'm glad. Holy crap, I thought that Lem was gonna there's gonna be like some sort of accident or something. That would have sucked. So now we've got a sidereal bridge here. That's a new area. Cool. Alright guys, well we will go ahead and check out what the sidereal bridge is at the beginning of the next episode. And then we just gotta work one more shift of the overlook, and I guess we'll start heading to the low end gate. And Ethan's going to be running up a tab for us to pay. So, a lot going on here. If you guys liked the episode, please leave a like down below. Subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, that'd be a big help. And we'll see you next time. Later days, everyone.